He had been a television director and producer with his Flipside show. Now he and Sean Delaney set us up with a video camera so we could see ourselves performing. Initially we resisted. It sounded stupid. Why would we want to do that? But it was eye-opening. We actually saw ourselves and thought, wow, we look cool. I remember sitting there afterward in stunned silence with the rest of the guys and really feeling the effect. The other thing Bill did was to put Sean Delaney with us as a kind of coach. This happened very early on. We would do our stage act, and he would stand off to the side, stopping us at certain points. I don't recall whether he served as a choreographer or just observed us or told us what was working. But we had open lines of communication, and when he made a suggestion, he could show us exactly what he meant on the tape. We could see our act coming together and our poise growing by leaps and bounds. We knew we were part of something special. How did we know? From seeing other bands and realizing how much better we could be. Paul and I went to see other bands in concert, not as casual fans, but as students. If a band came out with a certain kind of lighting, or built a certain kind of set, we would file that away in our minds and make a note to do better. At one point we went to see The Who. They were touring behind Quadrophenia, and we went down to Philadelphia to see the show. Lynyrd Skynyrd was opening, and throughout their set the audience was talking and milling around. Then The Who came out and the entire crowd got to their feet and started pumping their fists in the air. Paul and I got up too, but it was mostly out of respect for what they had done. The truth was that we brazenly thought we could do better. We knew we could. The bands that struck us as having something special weren't necessarily the most popular bands. In fact, the one we kept returning to was Slade, the British glam rockers who had hits with Come On Feel the Noise and Mama We're All Crazy Now. We liked the way they connected with the crowd and the way they wrote anthems. But we knew they would never make it in America, because they were just too British. In fact, the lead singer, Noddy Holder, was Welsh, and it was hard to understand anything he was saying. We wanted that same energy, that same irresistible simplicity, but we wanted it American style. The first Kiss album was recorded in September 1973 at Bell Sound Studios, which was on 54th and Broadway, in a not entirely regular part of New York City. The studio was seedy and dirty, although it was easy to get to from the subway. Although Bell Sound had perfectly good equipment, it was a 24-track recording studio. Its feel was totally different from Electric Ladies. That was a connoisseur studio, built by Jimi Hendrix and treasured by professional musicians. Bell Sound was a commercial endeavor, and many different kinds of recording was going on there all the time. We got right to work. Paul and I were especially interested in paying attention to the process, learning how a record was created. Our producers, Richie Wise and Kenny Cooper, worked with us on the first two records, and they were great teachers, efficient, professional, without any illusions about what we were doing, which was trying to capture the energy of a live show on a vinyl disc. If there were any difficulties, I don't remember them, because I was so impressed that we were actually making a record. In fact, the strangest thing about that time was the change in my workday. I was accustomed to going to work at Vogue, or at the Puerto Rican Interagency Council, as a strap hanger. I would wake up at 6 or 7 and come into the city by subway. As soon as we started recording, I was able to sleep until 11, wake up and have a leisurely lunch, and then head into the studio. Of course, I wasn't coming back until late at night, but it felt like I was suspended in time. The studio work went quickly. Kiss worked then the way Kiss had always worked. The rhythm tracks went down first, and then later on we added vocals. The songs that we brought into the session included some rework material from the Wicked Lester period, as well as some new compositions. Over time, that first album had really held up well, mainly because the songs were so strong. Firehouse, Strutter, Deuce, Cold Gin, and Black Diamond, amazingly, are all products of the same recording sessions. When the record was finished, we went to shoot the cover photo. Our image was extremely important to us, and we wanted to get it right. The record company had paired us up with Joel Brodsky, a well-respected rock photographer who had taken cover shots for dozens of acts, including Leslie West, The Nazz, Gladys Knight and the Pips, Carly Simon, and the Ohio Players. He was best known for the cover of The Doors' Strange Days, a surreal carnivalesque shot with a strong man and a midget. He had a studio in Midtown Manhattan, and we all showed up there a little early because we wanted to leave time to get into makeup. From the second we walked in, things were different from what we were used to. First of all, we were accustomed to doing our own makeup, but they had hired someone to do it for us. That's why Peter's makeup is completely different on that first album from what it eventually became. But that was only a minor hiccup. Once we were all made up, Brodsky put us in front of the camera and then draped a black cloth over us so we could only see our heads. That was intentional. It was what we call the Meet the Beatles effect, just 4 heads coming out of the darkness. Then Brodsky asked us who wanted to hold the balloons. We didn't understand until he explained his concept. I get it, he said. You're clowns. I'll go get the balloons. It took us a while to explain to him that we were completely serious. It's easy to see why he was confused. Up until that point, you didn't have popular bands coming out with makeup on. Alice Cooper was a frontman in makeup, and obscure bands like Roy Wood's Wizard and Crazy World of Arthur Brown wore makeup. But to have a real rock band with 4 guys, all of them in makeup, was unprecedented. It didn't have as much in common with rock and roll as it did with the movies or Las Vegas. But we convinced Joe Brodsky that we were serious. The album was recorded, the cover photo was done, then Bogart suggested that the drums should magically levitate.